Let's look at another official GMAT Quant question categorized under the EC difficulty level. So it states there are five sales agents who in a month sold certain amount of properties. So we have been asked to find who has sold the most properties here. So there are two ways to solve this question. The first one is to consider that the number of properties sold is X, and then um, look at which of those, um, as per the conditions given here, is the largest, and then identify the answer. Or the second way is to actually plug in some values and then look at the relationships that are specified here and then find out who has sold the most. So we'll look at both these ways in solving this problem. So let's first look at uh, considering X properties as being sold. So here it's mentioned that Andy sold twice as many as Ellen. So presuming that Ellen has sold X properties, Andy has ideally sold twice, which is 2x of the properties. Bob here has sold 3 more than Ellen. So Ellen has sold X, Bob has sold X plus 3. Carrie has sold twice as much as Bob, so which means that 2 times of X plus 3, which is 2x plus 6. Dora sold as many as Bob and Ellen together. So we know that Bob has sold X plus 3 and Ellen has sold X. So Dora has sold 2x plus 3. Now considering all this, the one that will have the maximum value. So since we are discussing here about properties which cannot ideally go negative, so it has to be a positive value. So and it has to be a non-zero value ideally. So considering that, we do see that among the relationships that is formed, 2x plus 6, which is what Carrie sold, seems to be the largest among the values here. So the option is, or your answer is option C, Carrie. Now coming to the second method, so rather than going with uh, anonymous values like X, let's plug in some values. For instance, it's mentioned that Andy has sold twice as Ellen. So suppose Ellen has sold just one property. Andy has sold twice as much as Ellen. So Andy should have ideally sold two properties. Bob has sold three more than Ellen. So Ellen sold one. So if Bob is to sell three more than Ellen, then he should have ideally sold four properties. Carrie has sold twice as many as Bob. Bob has sold four properties, so Carrie should have sold eight properties. Dora sold as many as Bob and Ellen together. Bob has sold four, Ellen has sold one, so your Dora's should have sold 4 plus 1, which is 5. So considering all these values, 8 is the largest, so you obviously go with Carrie. So both these methods work, so whichever is something that you are comfortable with, you can choose. And that's it. Your answer is C, Carrie.